Rayo Vallecano winning yesterday against Granada late on. This the first game in the title picture to take place on the return from the international break. Referee, the man in the middle today, Mr. Ignacio Iglesias, gets us started. Real Madrid in the white, shooting from right to left to kick us off in the Azulgrana clarity red and blue is Levante, the home side, who may have a tough afternoon here. Ball immediately played back to Pepe. Here's Isco, who collects it from deep. Spain under-21s did go out of the European Championship qualifiers, but Isco had a fantastic game for the Spain under-21s.
I think he's a player who should be in the full squad. He was unlucky perhaps not to be in the squad for the World Cup. Probably didn't go because he wasn't playing enough club football, you know, which is ironic because the man in goal wasn't exactly playing a great deal, but different, I suppose, for an outfield player.
And Levante try and break down the left-hand side.
It's interesting for this game that Mendilibar has decided to leave out David Barral, who's been leading the line in basically for the last couple of years, and he's instead pushed Victor Casadesús, former Mallorca forward, up on his own, and he's looked to play players with more pace. Obviously Morales has done well since coming back from his loan spell at Eibar. In fact, he scored in Eibar, and he's also got Gavilan playing as well, another former Getafe player, former Valencia player, who's mainly left-footed. Looks like he's going to start off on the right though, so obviously looking to exploit what he sees as a possible problem there for Madrid, lack of pace down the flanks.
One taken by Kroos. Modric plays it through to Ronaldo. First opportunity for Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo scuffs it wide. It's not often you see him miss those.
No, I was thinking it was almost the same as in the last game, wasn't it? When no offside, when Athletic Club Bilbao, obviously hoping to keep things tight at the Bernabeu, didn't do it. Didn't last more than 2 minutes. And once again, Cristiano getting a lot of space there, and he does make a bit of a hash of that one. Obviously, he's got a vital goal for Portugal in their European qualification efforts last week. A 95th minute header against Denmark. Kroos, of course, scored against the Republic of Ireland as well. Lovely goal, but Germany still dropped 2 points to the Irish.
Played back by Levante to work their way inside. Early danger presented by Real Madrid. Who clips the heels of Chicharito Hernandez, who calls for the ball back. Here's Ronaldo on the left. Isco on the overlap, tries to take over from Ronaldo. No Gareth Bale in the starting lineup today, the first time this season that he has not started. He's the player who's featured the most frequently outfield for Real Madrid this season. 1,049 minutes played so far.
One of the factors could be that Bale obviously played both games for Wales. It was rumoured that he was carrying a little problem in some of those games, and the second game especially, which saw Wales defeat Cyprus 2-1, was physically very demanding because the Welsh had to play nearly all of the game with a player less, so Bale had to basically dig in.
Here's Ronaldo. Ronaldo puts it onto his right. Again, it's wide off the left post. Diego Marinho, former Villarreal stopper, has not had a save to make in the opening 5 minutes, but Ronaldo has provided danger on 2 occasions.
Yeah, and that's not particularly good news, is it, that for Levante? 4 minutes gone, Ronaldo's had two runs at goal, 2 shots. He's missed 2. He doesn't normally miss 3. There's the Rogues Gallery, better known as the director's box.
Well, plenty of representatives from Real Madrid in the director's box. Plenty of fans here supporting Real Madrid, including some from the Ultra Serra who have packed that one section of the Ciutat de Valencia.
It's very easy these days, though, isn't it? It's just an hour and a half on the Express. I think one of the people who probably isn't in the director's box today is Luis Blasco, one of the Real Madrid directors.
All play through, no runner onto it. And immediately we see a change of flank from Cristiano Ronaldo. Moves over to the right. Carlo Ancelotti had come out this week and said that Cristiano Ronaldo can play anywhere. He dispelled a misunderstanding where he had been interpreted as saying that Cristiano Ronaldo could play at centre forward. He says the left-hand sided role is going to be Cristiano Ronaldo's habitual role.
I think that's because he can
foreseeable future.
Because he can cut in and obviously shoot at goal, isn't it? Obviously, when he signed for Manchester United, he played more on the right. He was signed almost as a replacement for David Beckham. Let's not forget.
Here's Pepe, returning to the side from injury today. And just in the nick of time as well, with Ramos out, injured against Athletic Bilbao. And Rafael Varane suffering from that fever yesterday.
Yes, unlucky for Varane, because it would have done him good to sort of carry on with his run of matches. Player who needs to play, really, after missing a lot of last season with injuries.
Knee problems persistent for Varane. Modric. To the right for Carvajal. Carvajal goes inside, pulls it back for James Rodriguez. He pokes it to Marcelo. Marcelo tried to cut it across. It was delivered clear by Juan Fran.
Yeah, perhaps when I said that Madrid, the sort of lack of pace at the Madrid football box, actually what I meant to say was the fact that Carvajal and Marcelo both get forward a lot, so they might leave space behind them. But the way that's going at the moment, there has to be said also that Ivan and Pedro Lopez, the two Levante fullbacks, no relation, they have also left a wee bit of space behind them. Pedro actually having to play on the left today, normally plays on the right.
A few players missing for Levante today. And without Navarro, without Vintra, without Tonio, and without Rafael Martins. Real Madrid without Jesse, Coentrao, Ramos, Benzema and Varane. So
Jesse apparently pretty close now to completing his comeback from injury after 7 months out after damaging his knee ligament. It's taken a little bit longer than expected, but obviously he was just showing great things before he did pick up that injury.
Casades's pass, it's a poor one. He showed too much of it to Pepe. Here's Ruben. And Madrid can play their way out of trouble.
Yeah, they've got sort of three pacey players there, and behind Victor they've got Morales, Ruben and Gavilan, as we've commented. Ruben I think I think he's quite a decent player, and Morales was excellent last season for Eibar. Believe it or not, when they played the Eibar 2 weeks ago, he scored the opening goal of the game just a minute in against his former club, which is sometimes the way it goes, isn't it?
Passed across to Pepe. And Carvajal on the right-hand side. Let's put down the line. Swept up by Juan Fran. One back, Chicharito Hernandez. He pulls it across. He took his eye off the runners there. Ronaldo had not moved. He was awaiting Ronaldo attacking the ball. Marcelo. Improvised back heel from James Rodriguez. Doesn't come off.
We should remind people that, of course, this is the prelude to what's a massive week for Real Madrid. Certainly in Champions, maybe more for prestige and history than anything. Obviously, they're going to play in Anfield against Liverpool. Maybe not in their greatest moment of the campaign.
Ball comes across. No save required for Iker Casillas off the head of Victor Casadessus.
Nicely worked move, has to be said. And of course, back to Real Madrid issues. Next Saturday, kicking off just 2 hours later than this game. It's a 6 o'clock kick-off local time. Small matter of El Clasico, which could see Luis Suarez league debut for Football Club Barcelona.
It is going to be a very, very big Clasico, with Barcelona currently 4 points ahead of Real Madrid. Valencia just behind. They'll be looking to capitalise on any side slipping up in the Clasico.
As will Sevilla. You'd quite fancy Sevilla to take the points this weekend.
Valencia this weekend away at Riazor against Deportivo La Coruña. It is tight at the top at the moment.
Interesting, because Valencia coach Nuno Espiritu Santo played for Depor, was actually a Depor player. When he became a Depor player, he was actually Jorge Mendes' first ever transfer as an agent.
A man he met in a nightclub. Didn't feature in La Liga for Deportivo La Coruña, but did play in the Champions League and against Valencia in the European Super Cup for Porto. But Valencia very much the more successful side of the city, particularly this year. After Levante had finished ahead of them last season.
Yeah, last season was a disaster for Valencia. It looks like their whole sale has gone through now to Peter Lim, etc., etc. Whereas Levante, they're having a difficult year on and off the pitch.
Was with Ronaldo. Now Isco. Pepe reluctant to bring it forward, reluctant to cross the halfway line at the moment. Cruz. Marcelo pauses on the ball. 10 minutes played so far. Levante 0, Real Madrid 0.
And Madrid having those two decent chances through Cristiano, controlling most of the ball. Victor having an okay chance with his head.
Delivered onto the right channel. Chicharito Hernandez goes down. Referee points to the spot. Juanfran sprints over. He's shown a yellow card for his troubles. We have a penalty at the Ciutat de Valencia. A familiar sight when Real Madrid come to town in recent years. And Cristiano Ronaldo will have a chance to put Madrid ahead.
Well, didn't look as if Juanfran, the first time you've seen it, doesn't look as if he times it particularly well. No offside. In fact, it's Juanfran who breaks the offside. Is he saying, I don't think Chicharito dives there, do you? I think that's pretty much a stone cold penalty. Juanfran getting up and having a moan, but I think it's a penalty. You know, chance for Cristiano to score his 14th league goal.
Well, a penalty with a little P. Chicharito Hernandez wins it. Cristiano Ronaldo will try to convert. Squares up to Marinho. Marinho almost pushed that out, but Cristiano Ronaldo had too much power on it. Levante 0, Real Madrid 1. A third opportunity for Cristiano Ronaldo, and as you said before, it's not often that he would miss a third.
No, exactly. Not the greatest penalty, but it ends up in the back of the net, and that's all that really matters. Marinho almost saved it, and that's always frustrating for a goalkeeper. It looks like a penalty, doesn't it, to be brutally honest. It's not a brilliant penalty, but it ends in the back of the net, and that's all you really worry about. And I think sometimes goalkeepers are a little bit intimidated against Cristiano as well. I think Hierro's gesture there to Ancelotti is woof, says it all. So 14 goals for Ronaldo so far this season.
A scintillating run of form, Cristiano Ronaldo. Remember, this is only the 8th match day. 14 goals to his name.
It's his 11th goal against the Levante, by the way.
And he has some nice memories of playing at the Ciutat de Valencia in terms of scoring goals.
He's also got some not so nice memories. Was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago, in the pouring rain.
David Navarro absolutely smacked him. Deliberately as well, I think, with his elbow, left his eye. He could hardly see afterwards, wasn't he? He was pouring with blood. He carried on playing. Apparently it was a game and there was discussions in the dressing rooms after the match. In fact, in the doctor's room, I believe there was more than words were crossed.
Ballesteros and Jose Mourinho squaring up.
I certainly wouldn't want to square up to Ballesteros, who was basically square himself.
Cruz with a pass, back to Pepe. Real Madrid have the lead. Under 15 minutes played.
The thing is, I don't think Juanfran needed to go in like that. Chicharito wasn't really going anywhere. He had to be. Obviously, he was in a dangerous position, but he was a place where you could have just hassled him, and a defender as experienced as Juanfran probably shouldn't have fallen into the trap.
Isco. Marcelo's come inside. Oh, Isco dances past Diop. There's a pass to James Rodriguez, released onto the right. Carvajal might provide a return. And he tried a bit of trickery to get past Lopez, who brings it forward. I'll have a run down the line. But Levante, they seem reluctant to bring players forward. Very often just Ruben and Victor Casadezos. They don't want to be caught on the counter by Real Madrid. Here's Ruben. It's across for Pedro Lopez. They're headed out. Isco collects. And it's knocked down the line. Nobody running onto it. Left for Diego Marinho. Blocked out by Chicharito Hernandez.
There's just no question about that, you know. I mean, I know every side, you know, every time Barca get a penalty, Real Madrid fans look to say, oh, it wasn't a penalty. And every time Real Madrid get a penalty, Barca fans look to say it wasn't a penalty. I don't think, whichever team you support there, you can have any doubts about that one.
Run inside by Ruben. Cruz came to him. Closed off the pass. He managed to get it away. Onto the left. Will we see a cross in for Gavilan?
The thing to bear in mind for Levante as well is if they do lose today, they're almost certain to drop into the relegation zone at the end of the week.
Currently just a point above the bottom three sides. 5 points to their name. Took a long time coming, getting their first victory as well.
Bit of a surprise one away at Granada as well. You know, Granada having a great start, but then sort of sudden Levante went there 1-1-0. Got a good draw in Eibar as well. The Eibar fans weren't particularly happy with the referee Undiana Mayinko, it has to be said, but they did play a little bit more open football. It was a great end-to-end game. Anyone who had the fortune to see it. Normally, maybe Eibar Levante isn't one which gets you reaching directly for the remote control, but it actually was a crowd with a stormer, which all goes to show.
All sent down right wing, where it appears Pedro Lopez has switched over from left back to right back. And we see yet again the penalty, and Juan runs straight up to his feet to complain
to be fair, if he doesn't go in, that does look as if Cristiano's going to get there into the middle, doesn't it? Juan Fran's reaction is a bit hysterical.
Well, in the aftermath, of course, he picked up the first and only yellow card of the game so far. And Mourinho sprints to get that. Chicharito was offside.
Maybe. Not sure. Already had one result this weekend, by the way. Rayo winning away to Granada 1-0 as well. Rayo having a cracking little run of form.
That was a late goal in injury time by Manucho.
That's not a word you hear often associated with goals, is it?
Here's Pepe. Yes, for a turn from Carvajal. It's up to Isco to bring the ball forward. Pass to Marcelo. And that's an ideal start for Real Madrid. Get a goal under their belt early. Try and draw Levante out.
And yes, they've not, because Levante haven't got the full strength defence today. As I say, we've got Pedro Lopez at left back, Ivan Perez at Ivan Perez at right back. Neither of them are that quick, has to be said. And Rodas, obviously playing alongside Juan Fran, is a veteran. He's even less quick.
James was down on the deck. Levante continue bombing forward down the right-hand side. An attempt to go in. The cross was blocked. Here's Diop. Let's see if Levante can sustain some pressure, or if they waste this opportunity. The answer is they waste the opportunity. with the curled effort from outside the area.
If you look at the Madrid lineup, actually, it is a very offensive lineup with Modric, Kroos, and Isco in the midfield, James, Chicharito, and Ronaldo. And we've already commented that Carvajal and Marcelo like to get forward. You wouldn't say there was a ball winner in there, would you? It's a side designed to keep the ball and get their rivals running and moving them around the pitch.
And Kroos is brought down. Ignacio Iglesias not reaching to his pocket. Was forced more or less to show the yellow card to Juan Fran.
I think Juan Fran probably would have been booked for the foul anyhow, but he's moaning afterwards. He does like a little bit of a moan, Juan Fran, it has to be said. I think certainly confirmed the booking for him.
Not the only booking so far. 20 minutes into the game. Ball sent into the box. Chicharito Hernandez got his head to it, but lost touch. It's out for a corner. James Rodriguez takes it short. A rarity for Real Madrid. And falls to Kroos. Took too much time over the shot. An effort which was eventually blocked. A high foot is called against Gavilan for his attempted clearance.
Well, options here from a little bit far out to go for goal, I think. Let's have a look at this one. To be fair, it is quite high, isn't it? He may lower his head a wee bit, Modric, but Gavilan's foot is at least shoulder height. So I think the referee's correct in giving. It's got to be indirect if he's giving it for dangerous play. Does he raise his arm actually, or is he giving just a normal foul? Yeah, indirect.
And closed down as James Rodriguez was eyeing up a shot on goal from quite some distance. Cross to Marcelo. Modric has dropped onto the left where Isco waits with him. Isco receives it. Kroos opens play up with the pass to Pepe. A foray forward from Pepe. Carvajal plays it down that right side. Ronaldo's waiting in the middle. James Rodriguez dispossessed. Levante try and go on the counter-attack. Waiting up front is Victor Casadesus, but Levante cannot get the ball to him.
So they've got a tricky game next week as well, Levante. They travel to Liga to play Celta, who've had a very positive start to the campaign.
No foul given against Pepe, who decides to get a foot in on the Levante player. No free kick awarded. And as Levante try and exact revenge, Real Madrid go forward. Levante quick to get players back. Ronaldo gets the pass to Isco. No advantage played by the referee.
That's quite
Yellow
bad.
card is shown.
It's Camarasa. It's quite a bad challenge, actually.
Cristiano Ronaldo back on his feet.
That's naughty. That is the one where they want to say. I don't think there's a foul there from Pepe. That is a bit sort of unnecessary, I think, though. The referee shouldn't be allowing the ball to be played on the ground like that. But, you know, if you think and you look back in the recent sort of Levante Real Madrid games and you remember the intensity Levante played with, that intensity so far has just not been there, has it? You know, they're trying to play with a bit more attacking flair with Morales, Ruben and Gavilan further forward. It's leaving Camarasa and Diop a little bit exposed, not to say the fullbacks as well. You know, in the past when Caparrós was in charge, for example, there would have been two lines of four well, probably actually 2 lines of 5, let's be brutal, in front of the goalkeeper, and then maybe Victor would have had to run forward for the long ball out. But they wouldn't have left as many spaces as they have been so far.
Cristiano Ronaldo will take this himself, goes for goal, a poor delivery, clatters into the wall. Isco battling for that one. Here's Marcelo.
I think we were saying about the lack of intensity there. Oh, there again, he has recovered a bit of intensity with that rather wild lunge.
One back by Levante. Modric's turn to try and get a tackle in. Levante unfazed, and the ball goes goalwards. It wasn't too far off either.
It's got for corner, actually, so...
Casillas has yet to make a save. Maybe Marcelo got the last touch off that. Diop strolls over to take the corner. 25 minutes into this game. Around about halfway through the first half. And Levante have their first corner of the contest. Diop's delivery. It's cleared off the line.
Well, that, I think, was cleared more by accident than by design, to be brutally honest. Once again, Madrid showing that if they do have a weak point, it is defending crosses into the area, especially from set pieces.
Looked like Modric with the save on the line. As Madrid try and hit on the counter, just too far in front of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Let's have a look. It's a good corner, and it's a...
Good stop by Modric.
I think it's Camarasa, is it, with the volley?
Modric has saved Casillas' back. Similar circumstances in the Champions League last season. A stop on the line.
Well, obviously, Ica's always going to be in the eye of attention the way things are now. Wasn't great for Spain against, at least certainly against Slovakia. Didn't play against Luxembourg, but I think once again it was his central. It was a marking in the area which was disappointing. Well, non-existent really.
Well, that might have shown the way to go for Levante. Their first real set piece of note, and Diop causing problems. He's given a problem by Isco, who made the challenge on him. He won the free kick, but it's back with Real Madrid. Isco. Pull back inside for Isco. Diop was right on top of him. That's a deliberate pull back. Referee goes over and has a word. He reaches to his pocket, or does he? Yes, yellow card
for Gavilan.
Modric made a show of it. Jaime Gavilan becomes the latest player booked, and this could be a worry for Levante. They're getting more and more players into the book.
It's just a tiny little shirt pull there, isn't there? I mean, once again, rule book in hand, you can give it because you're not playing the ball. Although obviously the Levante faithful don't seem to share that opinion.
6 fouls committed by Levante, 3 yellow cards.
To be fair, Camarasas was pretty clear, and that one by the only one's a little bit perhaps questionable is Gavilan. He's a little bit light, but once again he's not playing the ball, so you know, rule book in hand, you can certainly show it. And Juan Franz, well, it was for the penalty, and I think possibly just as much for the complaints afterwards.
The ball played in between Cristiano Ronaldo and Marcelo. A misplaced pass by Isco.
Thinking of Ica, of course, one of the past disappointments for the game is that, well, especially listened is for Keylor Navas, of course, who's obviously last couple of years has been outstanding in goal for Levante. Obviously joined Real Madrid over the summer. Is on the bench, he's not playing against his former club. And listening to the declarations that Ancelotti made yesterday in his press conference, you get the impression that he's going to spend quite a long time sitting on the bench as well, because Ancelotti says, well, we haven't got David De Gea here, there's no talk of a changeover, there's going to be no resting, no one thing or another, no new generation taking over. All of which makes you wonder why he dropped him last season then, doesn't it?
No gradual transition is the phrase used by Spain for the introduction of De Gea, of a phasing out of Casillas.
To be fair, Casillas is only 34. It's not a great age for a goalkeeper these days.
Real Madrid fans getting vocal. As Levante have a free kick. We've reached the half-hour mark of this game. And through to Casillas, who's barely had a touch in this game.
No, as I say, it is a sort of game where you could think of the gradual transition, isn't it? Navas played one game, which was at home to Elche, which is also a sort of game where you'd have thought that in the Bernabeu as well, it was not the sort of game where he was going to be under a lot of pressure, and actually he wasn't. Probably one of those frustrating games for a goalkeeper where the rivals have like one shot and it ends up in the back of the net, however.
In that game we had more shots of eating an apple in the dugout than we did of Keylor Navas. He was barely troubled all night. Was not even really a candidate to play in this game, Keylor Navas, having travelled on international duty, only returned 2 days ago in the afternoon.
The good news from Madrid is the Spain internationals obviously say the same as England played on Thursday and Sunday, so they all say they got their Spanish players back quite early. So the new format of the European Championship qualifying does mean teams can get, if not all of their players back, at least some of them back a bit earlier. Although they're never going to get more back at the same time because of the way the games are sort of staggered over 2 or 3 days.
Look at that pressing from Real Madrid to win the ball back. Levante managed to reclaim with Pape Diop. One of the standouts in the opening half hour for Levante, and there have been few reasons to smile for Levante.
One of the standouts all season, I think, and last season, Diop. To be fair, we know Madrid have looked pretty comfortable, haven't they? But Mourinho hasn't really made a save, has he? He's not. It was the penalty for the goal, and despite Madrid sort of looking likely to, so far they haven't really put too many shots on target.
Oh, that ball is won back well. Opportunity is on. Play goes down in the box. Ruben down, appealing for a penalty, not given by Ignacio Iglesias.
Nah, I think correctly not given as well, to be honest, if you look at it again.
After Ruben had done so well turning the defender.
I think he let himself down a little bit.
Offside flag quickly up against Cristiano Ronaldo.
It's offside, isn't it? Yeah.
Played off by Hector Rodas, the last man.
Let's have a look again. It's not great from Nacho, it has to be said. He's really dispossessed very early. It sticks a little arm out, but I don't think it's enough for a penalty.
Well, Ruben turning him impressively. Ball is flicked into the box. Casillas with the cross, just needed a finish in front of goal. Ball flashing in front of Casillas. It was José Luis Morales who was flying in. Short on chances, Levante, but when they have managed to get into the box, danger has been provided. It is a warning for Real Madrid, who are 1-0 up, having scored from the penalty spot, Cristiano Ronaldo, with the only goal of the game so far. We are 10 minutes away from half-time. Here's Cruz.
Quite quiet, Cruz, so far. He's been on cruise control.
Marcelo's throw-in. Taken by Kroos. Nacho to Pepe. Kroos spies James Rodriguez on the left-hand side. He swings one over, looking for Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, Ronaldo keeps it in play. Fakes for cross. Some fast footwork. Falls to Luka Modric. And Mourinho tips it over. Well, the pass didn't look as if it was intended for Luka Modric. He ran onto it.
I think so. I think he's picked him out there. I think he's doing a disservice to Cristiano there. He's looked out for Modric. Decent effort. Curling away from the keeper.
It's Modric's corner. He looks to return the favour. With the delivery to Ronaldo, it was headed away.
So Mendilibar, who's obviously sort of gained a reputation for making normally pretty tough teams to beat. He did a good job at Osasuna. Did well at Valladolid. Ended up, both of them, has to be said, both of his last years. To be fair, last season he got sacked after only 3 games at Osasuna, but makes you wonder why they didn't sort of dispense with his service at the end of the previous season. And the same at Valladolid. He was there, but obviously at a club with a, once again, it's up and down, aren't they, Valladolid? His last season there at Valladolid also went down. So he's probably not going to want to complete a hat-trick. But he does tend to make sides that, you know, make the most out of their resources.
Here's Modric. James Rodriguez inside the box. Cross comes back to him. Cristiano Ronaldo poked out a foot. Ball didn't drop correctly for him.
Could easily have been, though, couldn't it? Just flashed across the face of goal there.
Looked like it took a deflection on the way in, and that's what took it away from Ronaldo. Real Madrid's 3rd corner of the game. Isco takes this one. He scoops it up to the back post. Not a great delivery by Isco. Let's put back in. That is a good delivery, and it's a goal for Chicharito Hernandez. He rises highest. Arriba. Chicharito Hernandez makes it 2-0 to Real Madrid. Their first goal from open play. And it was a great assist.
Lovely ball in there. You know, that's what he's done time and time and again for both for Cruz Azul, for Club America, and for Manchester United. They're a bit slow, maybe pushing out, but it's good movement, no marking. To be fair, the defending's a bit chaotic. They should perhaps have pushed out a bit more determination there. It's a lovely little cross back in, though.
Well, Chicharito Hernandez very much in the Hugo Sanchez mould. First-time hit goals. And that was a nice header down to beat Mourinho. Chicharito Hernandez adds to his account for the season.
He got his goals to minute ratio is as good as it always has been. You know, it's one of those things that he just has this ability to pop up into the box. And if you put balls in like that, he will get on the end of them.
A very rare starting role for him in the absence of Karim Benzema. He just puts a bit of pressure on Benzema, maybe.
Well, to be fair, Benzema came good, didn't he, just before the international break? And one of the things that people have highlighted is not just his goals, but also his link-up play. Now, in that he is more complete, say, than Chicharito.
And play continues. There was an appeal for a handball, and Iker Casillas is out in no man's land. He managed to close the angle for the Levante runner, but a moment of uncertainty by Iker Casillas.
Nearly got a killer break in the Real Madrid there. You know, the appeals for handball, referee didn't give it. I think if that attack had gone through, we'd probably be looking at 3-0.
Marcelo to Isco's at full stretch. Rodas with no other option but to put it out. Isco. Ronaldo. Cruz taken down, and he gets a kick for good measure from Diop.
Well, I think the fact is it's Ruben, I think, that fouls him originally, and Diop's obviously going through with the clearance and would have taken the wind out of his sails. That's the foul, and obviously Diop's going in there with the ball. There's an earlier chance that the ball just flicks away from Cristiano. That's the appeals for handball, which probably a good call from the referee. Tell you what, if he'd have got it wrong, Juan Fran would be walking because he's already got one yellow.
And there's the danger that Levante are facing 3 players have yellow cards. And if they want to up the intensity, that is not going to work in their favour.
So as I say, we commented before the game that the Levante doesn't look to be as strong as the Levante in recent seasons, and I think that's sort of being okay. Madrid are playing really well, are playing lovely, much better football, much more touch football. But I think we're seeing that Levante are not the same side that they were. They haven't got that intensity that they did have under Caparrós and Ignacio Martinez. Mendy's up for a long season. They say they're off to Vigo next week. If they're losing Vigo, and that's a distinct possibility. There's the phrase in Spain, isn't there? You know, will you eat the turrón, the Christmas nougat? My general feeling is probably not.
Hard to find somebody who'd want to take on the job, though, with Levante in free fall at the moment.
Well, there's always somebody who wants to take on the job, I think. But the problem is that they've also got off-the-field issues with accusations of match fixing from a couple of seasons, 2 or 3 seasons ago, which also involves Zaragoza. To be fair, not many players still at the club are involved, but a couple of them who we won't name. Although I think it's probably in the public domain, but certainly have been involved, and that must just tick away and can't be very good.
We're inside the final 5 minutes of the first half. Real Madrid 2-0 up, and that second goal, as is so often the case when Real Madrid get ahead and extend their advantage, just settles Los Merengues down a bit.
Yeah, well, just before the goal, as tends to happen to commentators, we say, well, they haven't had that many clear-cut chances, have they? They've been in control. They look very comfortable. Let's be honest, they look very comfortable. 68%, of the ball. But the chances weren't arriving, and now...
But across the face of goal, it's met at the near post by Chicharito Hernandez, looking for his second of the afternoon. And he must feel this is a game to really establish himself, because balls are coming in thick and fast into the box.
He came on against Depor, didn't he, when it was 5-0, 6-0, and scored 2 late goals. One was a screamer, the other took a big deflection, but, he's certainly taking his chances. Whether or not it'll mean he sort of gets a permanent contract at Real Madrid for next year, who knows? But well, Manchester United won't be unhappy to see him scoring goals, because it certainly increases market value.
His hook's clear. And as far as Diop, though.
Actually, it might not. How long is his contract at United for? He says last year his contract doesn't really matter what his market value is.
Ball dragged into the area. Isco's keeping with it as a Carvajal. It takes a big deflection.
There's Gavilan. Does well there. It was certainly goal bound, wasn't it? So decent defending. Nacho blocks it.
Ivan going forward, and he stays forward because we have a corner kick. Another chance for Diop to provide some danger. Sent to the near post. It's not a good delivery.
Poor corner. We've seen that Madrid have struggled on the corner that was put into their area.
And that's a better cross, but it bounces all the way through to Iker Casillas.
Yeah, if you're not going to get many chances from set pieces, you want them to get in there, don't you? At least around the penalty spot, edge of the 6-yard box, make the keeper think, put a bit of pressure on the central defenders.
And Casillas is put under a little bit of pressure himself. Makes for clearance, though. picked up outside the box. It's Gavilan.
Well, I wonder if the start of the second half, well, maybe not the start of the second half, but reasonably early in the second half, especially if we can get a third goal, whether Ancelotti will give some time to Khedira, who's obviously coming back after a muscle injury.
And Pedro Lopez furiously arguing with the referee's assistant.
He wants a little word. And Pedro gets booked. Is it Pedro?
Latest player to pick up a yellow card. And you don't want to be picking up yellow cards for dissent. You want to be picking them up for getting your challenges in.
I think he's trying to say he got the ball in no uncertain terms.
Well, we go into half-time here at the Ciutat de Valencia. Levante 0, Real Madrid 2. Cristiano Ronaldo scoring from the penalty spot. Chicharito Hernandez